Good evening, ma'am. My name is Mark Austin Gibalad. Our report topic is about global divides and world of regions. So, global connections. So, global relations are increasingly interconnected. So, questions are these connections equal or unequal? So, presence of power centers influencing global dynamics. So, historical events often focus on specific regions daw, no? So the emergence of the global south. So directional term referring to countries primarily in the southern hemisphere. So it includes Asia, Africa, Latin America, so the Caribbean and the Pacific Islands. So popularized in the context of international economic development in the late 20th century daw no. So critics of the term global south so perceive neutrality but may lack critical depth. So differs from terms like developing countries or third world. So may obscure material realities of inequality and exploitations, lack the radical transformative potential of previous terms. So global south versus developing countries versus third world. So um developing countries suggest a linear path to development. So third world, so non-aligned countries during the Cold War. So global south, a newer term aiming for neutrality, common attributes, histories of colonialism and marginalization and struggles for justice. So moro to akong kaning part sa kaning report, ma'am. Thank you.
My name is Sean Arins D. Caballero, under the group of reporters, and this is my topic all about
Potentials of Global South concept. Forge new solidarities among marginalized nations. It promotes horizontal relationships, acts of transnational and decentralized network, serve as a site of knowledge production. And next is criticisms of Global South concept. May obscure ongoing inequalities and historical exploitation, lacks of radical basis to challenge global industries effectively, and doesn't directly address capitalism and colonialism, and risk of being an empty term without action. Dependency theory. Dependency theory posits that global wealth distribution inherently favors wealthy nations at the expense of poorer ones. This theory suggests that resources flow from underdeveloped states to wealthy states, enriching the latter, impoverishing the former. Modernity and coloniality notes that colonial domination persists even after political independence, emphasizing that modernity is intertwined with coloniality, and colonized nations often remain culturally, politically, and economically oppressed. Coloniality of power explains that the concept coined by Anibal Quijano highlights how the world is structured by the global capitalism root in colonialism. It also notes that racial and ethnic hierarchies were created to control labor and resources. Coloniality of knowledge points out the Eurocentric knowledge dominates global discourse, marginalizing or erasing non-Western knowledge system, and calls for the recognition of diverse ways of knowing. Next is the examples of modernity and coloniality. provides examples such as environmental degradation through pollution exported from global north to global south. It also mentions the unequal ecological exchange where the global south suffers the environmental consequences, resource extraction, and internal colonialism, which involves the marginalization of indigenous peoples within a nation. And lastly, the implication of global relation notes that the importance of understanding global inequalities through the theories recognizing ongoing colonial dynamics in a modern context, valuing knowledge from the global south, and actively participating in reshaping global relations. The visual elements of infographic includes a compass, rose, and stylish map with trees, mountains, and shapes, giving it slightly old-fashioned or historical feel. Manila Geography and Location. Manila is a part of National Capital Region or NCR of the Philippines. It is located on eastern shore of Manila Bay, which provides a shelter harbor. The city spreads along the deltaic plain of the Pasig River, which flows northwestward into Manila Bay. Size: the city of Manila covers an area of approximately 38.55 square kilometers or 14.8 square miles. Population: as of the 2020 census, the National Capital Region or NCR, which includes Manila, had a population of 13,484,462 residents. Key elements of new conception of global politics. Independency theory. Origin: developed in the mid-20th century by Latin American economists like Raul Prebisch and scholars from United Nations Economic Commissions of Latin America and the Caribbean or ECLAC. Core argument: dependency theory posits that countries do not develop in isolation. Instead, they are part of global economic system where wealthier nations the core extract resources and value from poorer nations the periphery. This unequal relationship leads to the persistent underdevelopment of peripheral nation. New conception of global politics. Dependency theory reframed global politics by highlighting the structure inequalities embedded in the global capitalist system. It argues that the development of the global north is inseparable from the underdevelopment of global south.
Hey ma'am, I'm Yunel Caballero, and next is Understanding Region. Understanding regions. Region is a group of states or territories sharing identifiable traits, smaller than global system but larger than an individual state. Next is regionalization versus globalization. Globalization is a worldwide integration, meaning kanang mag-trade ka sa lain-nasod, trade, investment, financial market, or internet or global trading, mga ngana. Next is key difference. Globalization is a worldwide integration. Example, ano yung kanang internet and global trade. Next is regionalization. Non-state regional activity. An example is Jollibee expansion. And next is regionalism. Description, state-led cooperation, or an example ano yung ASEAN policies. That's all.